Hello, I'm Bill Heran. I'm the author of The Missing Piece. Today is March 20th, and the topic of today is Die Before You Die. Very, very up and optimistic topic today. The quote is from Eckhart Tolle, and he says, Death is the stripping away of all that is not you. Die before you die, and find out there is no death. Our egos create a type of faux sense of self, a fragile identity that has been constructed over time, a form that often needs to be defended by manipulation, comparisons, diets, criticism, and judgments of all types. This fabricated perception of the self seems very real, and we conduct ourselves on a day to day basis believing that we are and what our minds tell us to be. Our false sense of self becomes a creator of sorts, engineering environments, relationships, careers, material things that strengthen the delusional belief that this is all me. As we grow older, however, thankfully, the scaffolding becomes weak and the reality starts to permeate this fictional sense of self. The narrative naturally begins to die through life events, a divorce, a loss of a career, relationships moving on, physical loss and disease, friends and loved ones dying, etc. This is usually a source of great suffering since we previously identified so strongly to the constructed sense of self. Part of the belief of the false self is the permanency and objectification of not only yourself, but the thoughts about others. Some spiritual teachers have proposed a non self. In Pali, it's anatta, a foundational Buddhist belief that there is no separate and distinct self. Much of our suffering, as explained in this tradition, is clarified by our close identification to the separate self, which we are conditioned to hold on to for dear life. Our challenge towards inner peace is the journey towards death of this false self before we die. The death that is encouraged in spiritual movements is not the type of death that you mourn, that you experience as decay or permanent loss and sadness. Instead, the death describes here is a liberation, as an increase of spiritual awakening, an embrace of the true self, one that is consistent with your experience of reality and what comes into view. Imagine challenging the fictitious self, all the descriptive adjectives we've been conditioned to label as us and believe as ourselves. The false self really never dies, but it can be minimized to not control our lives and to add to our state of suffering. So notice how you identify yourself. You and others are much larger than any ego-based description. You are not your profession or your gender or your marital status or whatever, your color of your hair, or allow that which is in relation to all beings to give life and meaning to you and your most authentic self. Thank you for joining me today with the reading. I look forward to you joining me with future readings of The Missing Piece.